Welcome back to Subzero Gaming. It's IncredibleStan. If you're new, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you've been faithfully watching my videos, thank you for the continued support. I appreciate everyone rocking with the channel, and I'm looking forward to bringing you many more videos. As you can see, I purchased the new Ford 650 for 5,000 coins. It came with the Godzilla engine, but I thought the LSA might sound better. After dealing with the new installation system, waiting several minutes, watching ads, or spending coins for instant installation, I decided to leave the motor I already had inside. So before you update, I recommend getting the engines you want into your vehicles first. Changing motors can now be time-consuming and expensive if you start spending 100 coins to skip installation times. I sent the developers a long review about this. I told them adding this many ads, especially after players have already made purchases, is something I don't agree with. In my opinion, paying players should have some type of ad-free benefit. Hopefully they listen to the community and make some adjustments. They also added ATVs with this update, but I haven't had a chance to really test those yet. One feature I do like is the updated four-wheel drive system. On supported vehicles, you can switch between 2H, 4H, and 4L, plus use the rear differential lock. Right now, we're taking the Ford 650 up one of my favorite mountains for testing. I'll run it in dry conditions and in the rain. Then we'll head through the new off-road area and test some of the basic limits of this truck. My first impression is that at higher speeds, especially with the off-road tires, the Ford tends to sway too much. I'm also not a big fan of the steering assist. It definitely helps, but I find myself constantly reconfiguring my steering sensitivity, trying to get everything right. With the default suspension, though, it's manageable, and you can always make your own adjustments depending on your driving style. If you watched my other videos, you already know how I feel about the redesigned off-road location. It's beautiful, it's challenging, and I can't wait to get some off-road convoys going with friends. Once you leave the main trail, that's where you'll experience the mud. You can definitely get stuck if you don't have the right tires, especially when it's raining. I hope they continue improving the mud physics and effects, because that could make off-roading even better. Overall, as a beta tester, I'm seeing improvements with each update. There's also a hotel in the middle of the off-road area that you can enter, along with a small police station. There are 2 gas stations on opposite ends of the map, and you can enter both of those as well. These little details make the area feel more complete, and I really like the rain. Driving through this map while it's raining is actually peaceful, and gives the game a completely different atmosphere. If you're using a lower-end device, be careful with your graphics settings. I've noticed a few areas off-road where the game can hesitate or lag. A good gaming phone or PC should have a much easier time running this game at maximum graphics. If you want to add me, my user ID is J04427002, and the name is Subzero. For now, sit back and enjoy the drive while we put this Ford 650 through its off-road test. Coming up next, I'm planning to test the TRX, Raptor, and Range Rover out here. And if we finally get another garage, which I've already requested, I wouldn't mind bringing out the Ford Explorer and some of my other trucks and SUVs to see how they handle the mud. There's still a lot more for me to explore in update 1.3.3.2. So stay tuned because more videos are coming. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell me what you think about the new update in the comments. This is IncredibleStan, and you're watching Subzero Gaming. I'll catch you in the next one.